All right. Welcome, everybody. Wonderful to see you here. It looks like some attendees are still joining us. Christian, how are you?
I'm doing very well, Susan. Thank you for asking. How about yourself?
Yeah. I'm doing just fine. I'm doing fine. Femi, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for asking. How about yourself?
I'm doing just fine. Thanks for asking. And Satish, how are you today?
Pretty good, Susan. How are you?
I am
Pleasure
doing
meeting you.
great. Yeah, thank you. You too. Thank you. Y'all looking great.
Okay.
Well, all right. Well, we will start in just a minute, just about 20 seconds. It looks like some attendees are still joining us. All right. Let me go ahead and share my screen really fast. There we go. All right. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedules to participate. This is Susan from Korcomptenz. Welcome to our webinar on Microsoft Dynamics 365 versus Salesforce CRM. Designed for you if you are planning to invest in a modern CRM or are an existing Salesforce or a Microsoft Dynamics 365 user. I'm joined today by Christian, Sathish, and Femi, and we're going to be talking about the evolving role of CRM technology in a modern business. First, welcome to the session. We're focused on the evolution of the CRM and how Microsoft Dynamics 365 and Salesforce compare in their approaches to next generation technology. We're going to cover what makes a CRM modern these days, giving you an understanding of the core features generally associated with a CRM, primary sales, service, and marketing, and also how the platforms have evolved to include AI, automation, and low-code capabilities. We're then going to explore how both Salesforce and Microsoft Dynamics 365 address these new ecosystem offerings, understanding some key differences and decision points along the way, and ultimately how to choose what's right for you. And here are our panelists today. Christian has over 20 years of experience in web, mobile, and marketing technologies. He has worked with some of the biggest and most respected brands in the world, deploying innovative programs to improve the customer experience and operational excellence. Sathish is a Microsoft Dynamics consultant, having about 15 years of experience working exclusively on Microsoft CRM from the earliest version of 1.0. He also runs the Center of Excellence for some of the top companies in India. And Femi is a Salesforce senior developer and solutions architect with over 10 years of experience on the platform. And just one more housekeeping point before we begin. There will be a question and answer session after the main presentation. However, you can ask questions at any time using the panel on the interface on the right. All lines will be mute during and after the session. This webinar is presented by Korcomptenz. Korcomptenz is your total technology partner with 17 years in business and serving over 200 clients. We offer technology solutions around Microsoft, Salesforce, Automation Anywhere, Snowflake, making us the managed service provider and helping mid-sized to enterprise level organizations with their 360-degree digital transformation journey. We help our customers gain competitive advantage by maximizing their investment in leading technology platforms. As you can see, we have a packed agenda today. First, Christian will cover some background material on how the CRM market is evolving and the next generation features that are now available. Then Sathish and Femi will discuss how Microsoft Dynamics 365 and Salesforce take different approaches to leveraging these next generation features, and we'll be providing some sample use cases. We will then conclude by taking a look at how you can choose the platform that's right for your organization, including testimonials from 2 customers. After, we'll cover the key takeaways and leave time for questions and answers. Let's get started. Christian, please take it away.
Thank you, Susan. I appreciate the introduction. When people hear the acronym CRM, they often think of sales, perhaps sales, service, and marketing together. But it's important to remember that today's platforms do a lot more, from analytics to automation. It's enough to make you reconsider the importance of a CRM platform in your organization. Salesforce, for instance, defines a CRM very broadly. They say nothing about specific features, but rather focus on the relationship you have with your customers. This includes sales, service, and marketing, but also opens up a broader window on how you engage with customers and prospects, including measuring these interactions, improving the quality and speed of each interaction, and offering new ways to interact. The goal is now to use these tools to improve the relationship and grow your business. Thinking beyond departments and their specific needs, a modern CRM touches almost every aspect of your business. It serves a strategic purpose by centering your organization on your customers, their needs, and your relationship with them. Of course, it also provides an operational benefit, allowing your organization to better manage and automate key sales, service, marketing, and even other functions. It also collects a lot of data from these interactions, allowing you to generate insights about the current state and the future of your business. Yes, in addition to understanding the current state, forecasting and other predictive tools enable you to take a peek into the future, comparing different growth scenarios and strategies, and planning your resourcing needs. Finally, there's a collaborative element. If your organization is centralized on a platform, different teams work with the same data and are integrated with the same processes. Everyone knows your customers and can work together, forging a more unified team. Whether you're new to the CRM world, planning to change your CRM, or exploring additional features to add to your current platform, the wealth of capabilities available on these modern platforms and the different functions they service require you to consider a few things. CRMs now serve your whole company, not just a single department or a handful of departments. While basic functionality is desirable, you can and should do a lot more, unlocking new potential. You should also consider other unmet technology needs surrounding your customers. Are you struggling with contracting, for example? Are you spending a lot of time copying data from PDFs? Are you still relying on forms in either Word documents or PDFs? These are use cases that the broader ecosystem from both Salesforce and Microsoft can address. It's important to identify these areas and experiment around them. It's your platform. Use the features to the maximum. One other thing to keep in mind, should definitely invest in integration. Create a single source of truth and centralize. In the long run, it will save you time, money, frustration, and quite likely help you retain more customers over time. I think everyone is likely familiar with the features on the left-hand side of the slide. For our purposes here, we're referring to them as core functionality. Sales, service, and marketing are pretty standard these days, though you might want to consider how you're using analytics and also what self-service tools you might be able to deploy in customer portals, for example. We'll be happy to walk anyone through that on a second call. Most of our focus today, however, is going to be on what you might not know or be aware of, how you can take your CRM mobile or even build custom apps fully integrated with it, how artificial intelligence is now ready for you to use, easily applied to some important areas of your business. There are also sophisticated automation capabilities, allowing you to service your customers and vendors without manual intervention or labor, enhancing your available resources and freeing them up to work on more critical thinking-oriented and problem-solving tasks. Finally, new technologies enable you to build workflows, develop custom functionality in apps, and easily integrate with other platforms without the need for a dedicated computer programmer. These are all powerful tools ready to drive your business forward right now. One thing you'll probably notice immediately is the rough equivalence between the core functionality of both Microsoft and Salesforce. In terms of the core sales, service, marketing, analytics, and even customer self-service tools, both platforms generally share similar features and have quite similar capabilities. There are, of course, a couple of exceptions. Salesforce, for example, has two options for marketing automation, one aimed at B2C, that's the Marketing Cloud, and another aimed at B2B, that's Pardot. Microsoft, on the other hand, has a sophisticated event management system built into their Marketing Hub, including things like event registration and even venue management. Salesforce has a sophisticated mapping tool integrated with their platform, as another example. This isn't to suggest that these are the only differences. The look and feel of both platforms is very unique. The underlying technology is certainly not the same. And also how you manage the platform over time, building out customizations and integrating with other platforms is quite different. At the same time, it is highly unlikely that either platform cannot be adapted to meet your overall needs. The real differences are going to be in your vision for how it is used and what ecosystem features you plan to take advantage of. Both platforms also offer mobility solutions, but here's where the differences begin to reveal themselves. There are dedicated mobile apps for the core functionality and for field service specifically, but the methodology and capabilities around building custom apps are quite different. We'll dig into that a bit more later in the presentation. Both platforms also feature app stores, the App Exchange for Salesforce and the App Source for Microsoft. But generally speaking, Salesforce's offerings are more mature. There are more apps available for a broader range of use cases. I wouldn't choose a platform based on that fact, but there might be some functionality you really need for your business that is more easily obtainable as a third-party add-on for Salesforce than for Microsoft. Salesforce and Microsoft take different approaches to artificial intelligence as well. Salesforce is using a largely integrated approach where all the AI functionality is built into the platform and managed in the standard interface. In all cases, there are low-code tools to get started without programming, but of course, these features are also accessible through an API, meaning your programmers can extend the functionality to apps, portals, websites, and other platforms. Microsoft is taking a different approach. The CRM platform itself has some built-in AI capabilities, similar to the machine learning features available in Salesforce, but then the more advanced capabilities are located outside of the platform. This includes an AI builder with point-and-click functionality built into both their Power Automate and Power platforms. Sathish will dig into this a little bit later in the webinar. The automation capabilities are also similar, though Salesforce is not releasing its full automation platform until later this year. Built into both Microsoft and Salesforce's CRM platform are tools to automatically manage approvals and workflows. Essentially, you can build flows for your tasks, and then the flows act automatically whenever data is changed. Sometimes this will be used to move a proposal through an approval process, for example, but it can also be used to trigger actions. For example, sending an email to a user if their account balances pass a certain threshold, or requesting more information from a customer if a piece of data is missing. Both also feature a marketing-specific suite of tools to create complex customer journeys from prospect through the entire lifecycle. And later this summer, both will have full-fledged robotic process automation solutions where you train software bots to perform tasks like moving data from one system to another, reading files from email, or even managing a customer onboarding process across different systems. Salesforce and Microsoft do take different approaches to low-code capabilities as well, enabling non-technical users to create custom functionality that used to require a programmer. We're going to dig into this further later in the presentation, but for our purposes now, Salesforce uses a platform called Lightning that enables you to build codeless functionality on top of Salesforce. This can be extended to your users on the community cloud or in apps, but similar to the AI topic we discussed earlier, it's integrated with Salesforce and requires Salesforce licensing. Microsoft has taken their low-code platform called Power Apps outside of the CRM, where users can build integrated apps there without any coding. Microsoft also has a Power App portal technology to build self-service tools for customers and vendors. This technology is integrated with the CRM, but it is closer to a content management system for customer and vendor portals than to a true app development platform. Price, of course, remains a major driver for most companies' decisions, especially in the current economic environment. In this case, Microsoft generally has an advantage. Their list price is $95 per user compared to $150 per user on the most popular plans. Most users, however, do not pay the full price for Salesforce, so the real number is likely to be closer to a $30 per month per user or so premium. This can, of course, add up quickly if you have a lot of users. While both companies offer a wide variety of licensing options, we've highlighted the most popular plans. This is the licensing type, Enterprise for Salesforce and Sales Enterprise for Microsoft, that gives most companies the features and capabilities they need. If you have any questions about licensing or pricing, please feel free to set up a separate session. As you can see, the overall functionality of each platform lines up pretty closely. In my opinion, I would give Salesforce an edge when it comes to ease of use and the additional apps available on their platform, but I would also say that Microsoft has an edge in their developer tools, the strength of the overall ecosystem, and of course on price. Either way, it is pretty close. I know it's early in the webinar and we've already covered a lot of ground, and we've got more to discuss as we dig deeper into these platforms. I do want to end this section by saying that both of these platforms are absolutely excellent solutions, widely used by companies large and small, and very well respected in the marketplace. Either can likely fit your company or any company's needs for that matter. And while we encourage our customers to fully explore their options before making a decision, the truth is that there is no wrong choice. It's like whether you get a BMW or a Mercedes. Both brands have their fans, of course, but both brands also make some of the best cars in the business. Now, I'm going to turn the floor over to Femi, who's going to guide us through the Salesforce portion of exploring our next generation service offerings.
Thank you, Christine. My name is Femi Omokoya, and I will be giving a little overview about Salesforce Einstein. Next to the next slide. So what is Salesforce Einstein? Salesforce Einstein is an artificial intelligence technology that was developed for Salesforce customer success platforms. Okay, and the goal of Salesforce Einstein is to kind of give sales and marketing departments more comprehensive and up-to-date views of customers and sales prospects. So as you can see, customer relations management, which is the broad and extensive piece of the Salesforce system. You know, they are data-driven, they are predictive analysis. You know, every organization definitely deals with data. So how can we modernize and you know, using artificial intelligence? That is what all Salesforce is all about. And as you can see, a couple of other companies, Google, Microsoft, and Apple, and Twitter, have their own AI platforms as well. To the next slide, you know, traditionally AI solutions requires like numerous people and support and implementations and development. So in this case, we have big data, business informations, and different algorithm that is being used in Salesforce Einstein. So what are the out-of-the-box advantages of Salesforce Einstein? You know, as you can see here, it's built in Salesforce data. Salesforce is a cloud-based software as a service that has all of the server, all of the networks in the cloud. So that kind of help, and where Einstein comes in artificial intelligence comes in to kind of make sure that all of this data are being used in one platform, sales and marketing platform, to make sure that it is accessible. Data management is very easy. There's so many add-on things that you can do on the cloud that would help you, rather than doing multiple enterprise applications on premise and all over the place. They are all in the cloud. So many out-of-the-box applications: Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Marketing, Commerce Cloud. They are all AI compatible. So here's just an overview of everything that is applicable in every Einstein in Salesforce. So there are so many out-of-the-box points and click that doesn't require code. All of these things have already been implemented in Salesforce Einstein. You just need, most of it, 90% of this requires just drag and drops. Einstein for sales, service, that service meaning case management. Einstein for marketing, for commerce, voice assistant, and all of this things. They have easy drag and drop tools that you can use to build all of these applications, predictive builders, vision, languages, predictions and things like that. Move on to the next slide. So here is just we call it a bed diagram of the Salesforce Einstein ecosystem. As you can see, the applications right above that, those are the people that we service. As you can see, the sales, the cases, the market, and the community right on top of the bed diagram. The development platform, how is it being built? What does it encompass? There are so many app exchange, so many Lightning development, First.com platform, Heroku that exposes some of these applications to the users above. And here is the platform, the basic platform where the AI comes in, the natural language, the processing, the big data, the predictive analysis. And the bedrock of all of this is how is the data being stored? We can use the Thunder CRM data, email services, and a couple of other multi-tenant databases that Salesforce uses internally to store all of the data. So this is just a bed diagram of the representation. So here is how it looks like without the code, what you can do and how it looks like inside of Salesforce. As you can see, this is just drag and drop tools that is being used on opportunity object in Salesforce. No code is required. It shows you the path to every stage of this opportunity that is being calculated. As you can see in Einstein Discovery, it calculates the percentage. You can get reports off of this and make sure that all of your data are represented correctly to your customers. I'll move on to the next slide. So here's AI. This is just talking about Einstein AI machine learning. So as you can see, the discovery section, the prediction builder, and the next best action. So pretty much just discuss about how we can use Einstein in machine learning. The prediction builder, which is also a section of Einstein, Salesforce Einstein. It's a point and click tool that you can use in Salesforce to build predictive platforms applications inside Salesforce. It's very fast, it's quick, there are no codes required, and your applications will be user-friendly as expected. Salesforce Discovery, as you can see, this is a visual representation to get an understanding of your data, deeper insight of what exactly you're doing. It looks good on the outside and it's easy to build as well internally inside of Salesforce. There's so many use cases: forecasting, leads, account storing. Who do you do business with? Who are your contacts? Who are your prospective people that you're going to be working with? The leads. So many use cases that you can use it. Think about it: the contact scoring, the territory scoring, the engagement scoring. So many broad section of Salesforce Einstein that you can have so many use cases for. Einstein natural language processing. So you just look at your how you can chat with customers and kind of have a quick response on everything that you're doing. Let's say you're on the Salesforce platform and you want to reach out to people from your applications in marketing or in sales. They can quickly have a Salesforce no-code chat bot quickly that responds to them based on the search that is being entered into the system. They get a response back. It answers the question without any human intervention. That is the power of Salesforce Einstein. This is what I was talking about, Einstein bot, a process where you can chat with the system, and artificial intelligence responds to you, to your needs right there, and there's no human intervention. discovery and analysis. You can get your data in a graphical representation. It shows what your data looks like. You can have it in different types of formats. You can have it in a pie chart or bar chart or different access of representation, which helps you. So so there's so many automations that can happen in Salesforce, which is coming soon. They are improving, they are building on the system, and you can expect a lot more in the low code aspect of Salesforce Einstein. So thank you so much, and I'll pass it on to Sathish.
Thanks so much, Femi. For the purpose of this session, I would like to talk about some of the advanced features in Dynamics CRM, such as Power App Platform and the artificial intelligence. Now, without any further delay, let's get into the topic. I'm going to just move on to my presentation as well. So let's talk about this Power App Platform. Let's see what is Power Platform is all about. It is a low-code application or a platform that includes 4 major products or components. They are Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, which was earlier called as Flow, and Power Virtual Agents that helps an organization to achieve its goal of digital transformation. Now, this Power Platform is certainly very useful in creating an end-to-end solution for enterprises without the need to do an extensive programming. And the other advantage is, of course, it spans across the whole gamut of Microsoft stack, primarily Office 365, Dynamics 365, Azure, and standalone applications. And you would also notice that we have mentioned AI Builder as a component underneath this Power App whole platform. The reason being, this AI Builder complements the whole Power App platform extensively. And AI Builder is again a low-code or a no-code artificial intelligence capability and can be applied across the various platforms and applications. Now, with this introduction, I'm going to get into the details of both the Power App platform and the AI Builder. Now, as I said, like AI Builder is in fact a complementing stack to Power App platform, right? Like now this AI Builder essentially provides us with the power of AI through a point-and-click experience. So you don't need coding or a data science skills to access the power of AI. With AI Builder, you can either build custom models that can be tailored to your needs, or you can also have the liberty of choosing from a pre-built model that is ready to use for many common business scenarios. And you can also apply these models to your application without actually going through the complexities of coding involved in building them. That is what I see as the biggest advantage of this AI Builder. Now, we said like it does have pre-canned solutions, a plug-and-play solution, right? Like, let's look at the benefit of combining this AI stack with Dynamics platform. Where all can we use this AI on the Dynamics platform itself? One is, you people might have heard about the sales insights. So there it is tightly coupled. Then you have this customer service insights, products insights, D365 virtual agent, which is again the power agent, D365 fraud protection, and finance insights. Now, these are the areas that the AI platform is tightly coupled with Dynamics. Now, I'll also talk about each and every segment of this in detail. Sales insights. What does AI does for the sales insights? It gives you an AI-driven insights for sales, like lead or opportunity scoring, predictive forecasting, and the entire relationship analytics. And the biggest advantage here is, like, even if you want to query through some of the dashboard informations, you don't have to know an advanced find feature in Dynamics CRM, or you don't have to know any kind of a fetch XML to probably customize or query it. All you have to do is just punch in some plain simple English statements, and it will all automatically resolve through your query. The next is customer service insights that helps both agents and customer service managers make better decisions and proactively improve customer satisfaction by using this artificial intelligence and analytic capabilities for customer service and omni-channel. So omnichannel is again a different segment altogether, but we can talk about that in detail in another session. But yes, this is also coupled with the omnichannel. The AI-driven technology empowers agents to help solve customer issues more quickly, improve resolution rates, and customer satisfaction. Now, the next on the list is the product insights. Earlier, the product insights used to be independent item altogether, but now it is also coupled with the customer insights. The product insights provides out-of-box insights about the usage, performance, and health of products and services. So business gets value right away. Because business wants signals and insights tailored to their product and strategy, product insights makes it easy for business users to create custom signals and custom insights. The next on the list is the virtual agent, which is primarily people use it for the customer service, more like a self-care service. Here again, the Dynamics 365 AI-based end-to-end solution enables organization to easily transform customer service through the power of artificial intelligence. There are a humpty number of business functions and business utilities for this virtual agent, and that could be a separate session altogether. To that extent, it can be used and customized. So we can also see if we can have another detailed session on this. The next one is D365 fraud protection. Again, AI anti-fraud solution, which helps in transaction acceptance, risk decisioning, and loss prevention. These are some of the pre-built models that are available on this D365 fraud protection. Finally, on the list, we have the finance insights. So leveraging the power of AI, finance insights enables you to not only quickly understand and act on your company's cash position, but also take proactive actions to improve it. So these are some of the plug and play solutions which is already available, and I see this as a huge strength for Dynamics CRM as a product. Now, we've been saying that yes, this AI model is a low code or a no code, but how does it actually plug in with the entire Dynamics 365 stack? As I was saying, the Power Platform is tightly coupled with Dynamics. Now, with the help of this Power Platform, you'd also be able to access this AI models. If you see in this slide here, we have kind of access the Power Automate, and within that Power Automate, you would see there's an option where you can click on, which is nothing but AI Builder. Underneath that, you have an option to click on Build, where you would notice that some of the models are already existing. Or if you want to build a new model altogether, yes, you have the option to customize it. So this is how you would access it across the entire Power Platform. This holds good for Power Automate, Power BI, and the other Power App factors as well. So now, as I was saying that this AI Builder is tightly coupled with the Power App stack. Here we want to show you how it is accessed from an earlier we saw from a different Power App, like this one is like from an Power App and the Power Flow, where you would notice, yes, you can easily access the AI Builder underneath the whole navigation controls, and you can start building your own controls as well. So now that we understand that the AI platform gives us with pre-built and custom models, I would like to show this slide where we're trying to list down some of the model types that are available by default, and those categories and the build type as well. I'll give you a couple of seconds just to glance through while I pick and choose some of the model types here and talk about that in detail. Okay, so let me start with category classification. Category classification is one of the fundamental natural language processing challenges. With category classification, you can identify text entries with tags to be used for things like spam detection, request routing, etc. An AI Builder learns from your previously labeled text items and enables you to classify unstructured text data in Microsoft Dataverse into your own business-specific categories. Okay. And the next model type that I want to talk about is object detection. Now, object detection model is capable to detect, identify, and count the objects in the images. I think one common application can be in retail inventory management or detecting machinery parts in manufacturing which can be used for repairs. So the next model that I would like to talk about is form processing. Form processing in AA Builder allows you to create a model to extract data from documents such as PDFs or images. The model is trained to recognize and extract pieces of text from specific locations in a document. You train the model by uploading 5 sample documents and highlighting the data you want extracted. And a good application would be invoice processing or receipt processing, where you can actually combine AI Builder, Desktop Flow, Power Automate to implement a robotic process automated solution. Okay. So the next model that I want to talk about is prediction. So this AI Builder prediction models analyze patterns in historical data based on what you provide, of course. Prediction model learns to associate those patterns with outcomes. Then we use the power of AI to detect learned patterns in new data and use them to predict future outcomes. Some of the ways used are binary, multiple outcomes, and numerical. So those are like some that are available by default. And the next model that I would like to talk about is sentiment analysis. The sentiment analysis, a pre-built model detects positive or negative sentiment in a text data. You can use it to analyze social media, customer reviews, or any text data you're interested in. Sentiment analysis evaluates text input and gives scores and labels at a sentence and document level. A very good example would be to combine Power Virtual Agent with sentiment analysis model to track the mood or sentiment of the customer during a chat and respond accordingly. This being tightly coupled with Dynamics CRM, one best use case would be to identify the sentiment, and the sentiment is negative. We can trigger a case automatically in Dynamics CRM, and the customer service rep can get in touch with the customer to resolve the problem or the issues. Here is where we are going to talk about some of the common business scenarios that these models can be used. Okay. For example, like automating your customer application processing. Here is where we use form processing. Automating expense reports, you can use the receipt processing model. Categorize user feedback based on their focus, category classifications. So I'll let you just read through it. Like you take a couple of seconds on this. And so what the message you're trying to convey is, what are the default models that Microsoft provides? They have a lot more usage in terms of the real-time situations, and these are some of the common business scenarios that we could think of, and these are some of the model types that we're trying to draw a comparison upon. Now let me move to the next slide, where we try to show you a snapshot of form processing and object detection. As I was saying, when you talk about form processing, primarily it is going to read from a particular document, and it is going to try and get the data into the models, process it automatically. And that being said, which is why I was saying, like, this utility becomes enormous when you actually put it into action, and the return on investment would be huge. And I can clearly visualize that. And so is the case with object detection, especially in a manufacturing industry where people have to have a huge amount of inventory to keep account of, manage it, maintain it. These could be the AI models that is going to be a great game changer for all those industries. Here you see some of the snapshot of how object detection would look, and with the existing models, the minimum number of images that it is required is close to about 50, where you would train the AI engine to understand and process your request. Now let me move to the next slide, where we are going to talk about the insights. Now, insights is in fact an additional AI platform that Microsoft gives to you. I think you might have to pay for it depending upon your licensing model. But so this is called as a sales insights. So a quick view of it will let you know how continuously people can analyze the vast collection of customer interaction data, which is already stored in the Dynamics 365 sales and Microsoft 365 databases. The reason we are saying 365 databases is, of course, it also allows you to connect to other data sources as well. Okay. So this helps you to better understand your business relationship, evaluate your activities in relation to previous successes. Now, here again, this feature is already available in Dynamics 365, and if people have not implemented this, you can look at implementing this AI capability, especially for the sales. And the next on my list is customer insights. Okay, this is also an AI-based analytics platform, which is published to the Dynamics 365 independently. Now, this customer insights quick view, we can see how the customer data is unified from multiple sources and helps us in viewing an enriched profile to analyze, predict, and take most relevant action. Now, these are all the additional services that the AI platform does support. And some of them are like decision making, which is like finding the anomalies and predefining a metrics, and based on those, the predefinition, finding and personalized advice for the organizations. So that is something which is available as an additional service. Language processing, like where people obviously you have NLP, which means like you do have the facility where people can talk in their native languages, and that can be automatically resolved. So that is also a possibility that you have as an additional AI service. And you do have speech to text recognition. I don't have to say anything about this utility. I think this can be extensively used across many industries, many functions. That is a quite deal of feature available. And then finally, the on the vision, which is like face detection, video indexer. Video indexer, there is a huge potential to it, especially on multimedia, and because I did some projects for some of the production companies, and this is definitely a great advantage, for some of the customers. So this completes my presentation, and I would like to transfer the control back to Susan. Susan, over to you.
Thank you so much, Sathish and Femi, for guiding us through those next generation features. Thank you. Now we're going to play a brief video from two of our customers, one who is an active user of the Salesforce platform and another who is an active user of the Microsoft platform.
We've been a Salesforce customer for 4 years. Within our organization, all sales, marketing, and customer service agents use Salesforce, and we've seen a tremendous increase in communication, collaboration, and strategic decision-making. We currently use Salesforce Cloud with Einstein, CPQ quoting, Pardot marketing, and Salesforce Maps. When choosing our CRM, we wanted the best software to enhance communication between departments, to facilitate the transfer of sales territories without losing important information when new people join the team, to evaluate customer-related business intelligence in real time and quickly make the best decisions, to help sales reps prioritize their time, to evaluate our sales team's performance, and to create personalized digital marketing content for different customer bases. There are many things that we love about Salesforce. If we had to choose 4, they would be innovation, trailhead trainings, Salesforce Maps, and engagement alerts. Salesforce is a platform that continuously releases new modules and functionalities according to new technologies and customer needs. That was exactly what we were looking for in a long-term partner. All modules are easy to use, easy to learn, which is very important for a fast-growing company that continuously adds new employees because it increases the efficiency of onboarding. The rich source of training material on Trailhead makes learning not only easy, but fun. Salesforce Maps permits us to plan our customer visits and optimize itineraries. We can also view leads, accounts, and opportunities on the heat maps and build our sales and marketing strategies accordingly. And lastly, the ability to see customer and prospect engagement in real time, such as when they open an email, visit a page on our website, or fill out a form, permits us to adjust our offerings based on what customers are truly interested in. We are better equipped to provide personalized services, products, content, and even customer journeys. There isn't anything we change about the platform. We've even interconnected it with our ERP, Therefore, all the information we need to make the best decisions is right at the end of our fingertips. Moving forward, we will activate live asset management in Salesforce Maps to view the location of our mobile stores on wheels and send notifications to our customers when an order is on its way or when it's been delivered. We will likely add analytics moving forward, but we're very happy with the standard Salesforce dashboards because they're easy to use, they're easy to create, and they're easy to customize.
Yeah, we're primarily a Microsoft shop. We use all the Microsoft products, including Microsoft Azure, D365 for our CRM, Microsoft Navision for our ERP system, and the full suite of Office 365 products as well. Some of the compelling reasons why we selected Microsoft Dynamics 365 were really the capabilities to integrate with our Microsoft ecosystem, and also for the field service module, which we use quite extensively for our maintenance department. Some of the things that we liked about the system, really the navigation and the ease of use. Since it's a Microsoft product, the look and feel is similar across all the platforms, and we find that the user community adopted very well to learning the system and navigating through all the areas of Dynamics 365. Anything I would change in the system would be the dashboarding functionality. It's pretty basic, so we use Power BI for more complex and visually effective dashboarding. In the future, we plan on implementing the portal functionality for D365 to extend to our vendor community, and also to implement Dynamics 365 F&O for our ERP system. So if you're looking for an easy to use, cost effective, and system that integrates well, D365 is a good platform.
We'd like to thank both of our customers for providing those excellent video testimonials, and also Femi and Sathish for guiding us through the next generation service offerings. I'm sure the gears are already turning in the minds of everyone watching as they think about what they want to accomplish next for their company. Finally, we're going to close out the webinar by going over a few key points that can help guide your unique decision-making process. The question is, do you choose Salesforce or Microsoft, or even both? The first thing you should consider when you're making your decision is what you're hoping to accomplish in the short, medium, and long term. Are you focused primarily on managing out-of-control processes? Do you have decent processes, but they are too slow, or things slip through the cracks, and you feel you can better capitalize on your leads? Or you're struggling with old-fashioned, unreliable reporting, perhaps an Excel file, or data that's housed in disparate sources? Do you think you have opportunities to automate some aspects of your business, perhaps self-service tools, or even bots? Maybe your associates are working in too many different silos and you need to break down the walls. Or perhaps you have bigger plans to reimagine how your business runs, and even how you communicate and interact with your customers and prospects. It's also important to consider what the rest of your business is running software-wise. These days, practically any system can be integrated with any other, but that doesn't mean that all system integrations are equally complex or easy. There might be existing plugins you could use that will make your life much easier on either Salesforce or Microsoft. There might be advantages in your specific industry or experience in your organization or with your partners. There could be some use case or security need that is much simpler on either Microsoft or Salesforce. Generally speaking, you don't want to put your company in the position of reinventing the wheel or trying to do something that's never been done. Not that it can't be done, but double check and make sure that providers you're working with and need to use are compatible. There's also a more subjective matter of taste. Some people love Salesforce's interface because it's clean and intuitive. Others prefer Microsoft because there's more functionality available with less clicks, at the expense of perhaps having a slightly steeper learning curve. Salesforce might have an edge at being a bit easier to configure out of the gate, while Microsoft is more suited for your long-term needs. The cost, of course, is a factor, not just the licensing fee, but also implementation, customization, and ongoing support. Your associates, of course, will have an opinion and might be more comfortable with one platform over another. You might even have a partner or need an app on Salesforce or Microsoft, or you might consider where these companies are going over the next few years. There could, of course, be something unique to your business. Whatever it is, try your best to prioritize and then analyze it through that lens. Ultimately, a combination of prioritization and compatibility are critical factors. Quantify these factors and then explore the full service offerings of each platform. Also, don't be afraid to talk to other customers and partners to get their advice. As I said earlier, there really is no wrong choice. Some companies run both technologies. You might use Salesforce for your CRM, but rely on Microsoft for apps and automation. The choice is ultimately up to you, and you will not go wrong if you consider it thoroughly, balance the necessary factors, and make an informed decision. Finally, a few key takeaways. CRM technology is changing, doing much more than sales, service, and marketing. Salesforce and Microsoft are both leaders with full-fledged platforms, but they take different approaches to how to implement artificial intelligence, automation, and low-code technologies. You need to look carefully at your own goals and both platforms before choosing. But at the same time, you can take some comfort that there is no wrong choice. Thanks again for joining us today. We hope you learned a lot.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We have a ton of questions. So let's take some time to answer those really fast. I'm seeing a lot of questions about the top automation opportunities in the sales process. So Christian, could you answer that question? What are the top automation opportunities in the sales process?
Thank you, Susan. Certainly. I think it's important to keep in mind that each organization's sales process is unique. Therefore, what works for one organization isn't necessarily going to work for another. But generally speaking, we see two trends. One is to be able to ingest orders or opportunities online, either from email or through a true e-commerce platform. This is great for Power Automate and Salesforce Automate. They can monitor an orders inbox or even a sales rep's inbox, take the information that comes in, load it directly into the CRM for your sales or order processing team to take over from there. Then within the CRMs, we see folks looking to automate key aspects of the process. Renewals, for example, if your customer is coming up for renewal, you can have the system automatically generate a contract for you 1 month prior to renewal. We also see people upselling and automatically generating orders from the CRM. So for example, if you have an established account with an organization and a new sale is made, simply by marking the opportunity as closed won, the system can generate a contract and an order form and speed up that part of the process as well.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for addressing that. I'm also seeing a number of questions about how long it takes to deploy or implement Salesforce and Microsoft Dynamics. Femi, could you go ahead and address that with Salesforce, please?
Yes, absolutely. So depending on the clients, depending on the environments that the present application uses, there are a couple of ways that this could be done. Out of the box, it could take around between 3 to 4 weeks if you're just trying to get out of the box functionality in Salesforce. In Salesforce, there are a couple of services that could be deployed. There's a Sales Cloud, there's a Service Cloud, there's an L Cloud, a couple of other there's Dynamics, there's omnichannel. So depending on what you want and the complexity of the environment, it could take between 4 to 5 months to actually get a full deployed Salesforce technicality into your environment. But if it's straight out of the box, we could get something as soon as possible, between 2 to 4 weeks.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Femi. And then Sathish, could you go ahead and address that? How long does it take to deploy the Microsoft Dynamics?
Sure. Since like both Salesforce and Microsoft being a cloud application, pretty much an out-of-box feature can be implemented in 4 weeks. However, like depending upon the complexities, it can even go for 6 months. In fact, I have worked with an implementation where I did for about 2 years, exclusively from healthcare industry. So the message you're trying to convey is, depending upon the size of your organization and the complexity, you do have occasions where it runs for months, and you do have occasions where you've done it in weeks.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, another question I'm seeing a bit is, what factors should an organization consider when they decide on their analytics platform? So, Christian, could you answer that? What should an organization consider when they decide on their analytics platform?
That's another great question. Generally speaking, we ask customers to look at what type of reports they want to generate and then where that data lives. Einstein Analytics is a great tool, and if the data that you're reporting on is mostly present in Salesforce, it makes a lot of sense to leverage the out-of-the-box capabilities, the point and click, and all of that good stuff. If, however, the data that you're looking to report on is primarily located in ERP software or accounting software, it can be quite expensive, both from an integration perspective and then a data storage perspective, to move that data into Salesforce. In that case, we often recommend setting up an Azure database, Azure Data Lake, and then using Power BI. So I think the key question comes back to where the data resides. Salesforce is excellent at working on data that's already on the platform or appending small amounts of data. But if most of your universe of data is outside of the platform, chances are you will save time and money by using Power BI or another platform.
Okay, excellent. All right, and thank you for covering the cost as well. There are a number of questions about cost. So Femi and Sathish, could you address that? Is there a difference in the cost to deploy Salesforce or Microsoft Dynamics?
Yes, absolutely. So in Salesforce, there are different enterprises that you can get based on the licenses. So we have the professional edition, we have the unlimited, we have the different editions that you can get, and based on the services that you want, based on Service Cloud or Sales Cloud or Health Cloud or Commerce Cloud, based on that per user, by the licenses, there's a charge to each one of those. So it ranges between $15 to $20 per user, based on how many users, based on the service, based on the editions that you want. It would stand, but typically it ranges between $20, $25 a user to about $200 if you're getting a professional editions of Salesforce. So in between $20 the limit for each one, up to $100 and $150 to $200 per user.
Okay, thank you. And Sathish, cost for Microsoft?
See, when we talk about the cost, there are two dimensions to it, right? One is on the license cost and the one was on the service cost. So I guess we pretty much had a slide explaining about the license cost on average, I'm sure. Whereas if we talk about the service fee, that again depends upon the complexity of implementation. So we're talking about a couple of weeks of implementation, obviously we want to charge you less, but then depending upon the nature of the implementation, the service fee is gonna increase or decrease depending upon the complexity.
Okay, thank you so much. I think we have time for one more question. Okay, Christian, could you just go ahead and touch upon this? I know you talked about it a little bit before, but how hard or easy is it to move from one platform to another? I'm just seeing that question come up. How hard or easy is it to move from one platform to another?
That's another great question. It's all based on how complex and custom the individual platform is. So a couple of quick points. First, there is no out-of-the-box migration tool that replicates what you have in Salesforce and automatically moves over to Microsoft Dynamics or vice versa. So ultimately, everything you have in one platform needs to be configured in another. There are tools to help migrate the data. So some of the challenges around mapping the data between the applications have been resolved over the past 5 to 10 years, but ultimately a new installation is a new project, which is why we normally recommend that when customers are pursuing a switch from one to the other, don't simply replicate what you have now. Look at any gaps in your process, any improvements you could make, any other tools you can take advantage of, and use the project as an opportunity not simply to change courses, but to upgrade your overall sales, service, marketing, or other operations.
Okay. Thank you so much, all of you, for all the questions. There are more questions, but we're not going to be able to answer them. If we didn't get to your question, I'm so sorry, but please know that our team will reach out to you. And thank you so much again for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this webinar. Please look out for additional sessions on a wide variety of digital transformation topics in the future. Korcomptenz is your total technology transformation partner, helping you solve business challenges and gain competitive advantage. Please feel free to contact us to meet with any of the experts on the webinar today. We'd be so happy to discuss any topics further with you. And as a reminder, please take a few minutes to fill out the short survey at the end of this session. Your feedback is important to us. Thanks again for attending and have a great afternoon. Thanks again. We really appreciate your time. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Thank you.